Okay, max one rep, day 2. It is currently 7:30 in the morning on the 4th of November 2025. And on this channel, I'm currently recording an experiment. So basically, there are 16 things that I want to teach my body to be able to do. 16 what I would consider to be difficult things. Like, for example, number 1 on the list is a kung fu kick, right? A proper, full-on kung fu kick. Now, that's difficult. And the reason I know it's difficult is because if it wasn't difficult, everybody would be able to do it. So it's difficult. It's a difficult position that I want to learn to get my body into. So I want to be able to do a kung fu kick. And 15 other things, like do the splits or do something called a planche push-up, or a number of other things. And I've got a theory. My theory is that if I attempt to do each of these motions, like a kung fu kick, just once a day, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm going to attempt to do a kung fu kick, as an example, every one of those days, once per leg. And I think logic dictates that at some point my body will adapt to the point where I will actually be able to do a proper kung fu kick instead of just making an idiot of myself. And that's what I'm recording on this channel, along with all the other things that I'm going to teach my body to do. So it's an experiment. I'm not a physical training instructor. I'm not suggesting that anybody should do any of the things that I'm about to do. It's just a record of what I'm doing. I have a tendency when I talk to the camera to then switch into some kind of teaching mode. And the reason for that is I've been a trainer for a long time now. Not a physical training instructor, just a trainer. And so I drop into teaching mode. I find it hard not to. But please let me make it crystal clear. I'm not trying to teach anyone how to do anything. It's just how I feel, how I better record myself, I guess, is the way I'm kind of looking at it. So yeah, and this is day 2. What did I learn from yesterday? Well, quite a lot. I've been here since about 4:20 this morning trying to fix lighting, because I can see there's lens flare here. And there was worse lens flare on this side. I can still see some, but I don't know enough about lighting to know how to get rid of it. I know I can kind of block it here, but I haven't got anything really to block it with at the minute. So I'm just going to have to put up with it. It is what it is. Yesterday, it took me far longer to record than I had expected, way, way longer. And obviously I spent a lot of time speaking to the camera. Today I'm gonna try and shut down on that. I want to just start getting a feel for how long it's going to take me to get through my workout. If I stick at it, if I go at it without interruptions, I'd like to see that. I have a tendency at the moment, because I'm still figuring all of this out and what I'm going to do and how I'm going to record things, and camera angles and stuff like that. I tend to stop and have a think, and I think, oh, this would be better if I did that. This would be better if I did that. So there is still a lot of figuring out to be done, but I would like to be able to kind of time end to end. How long is it going to take for me to start my warm up and get all the way through to kung fu kick? There's 15 other things that I have to do before that, but I have to do my warm up as well. And then eventually get to the kung fu kick. So I'd like to know how long that's going to take. Also, I noticed yesterday I didn't have Nordic curl on my list of things. That's something that I want to learn to do. So I'm going to add that in today. I'm going to try and I'm going to have to use elastic bands. I can't figure out a way of doing it safely without using elastic bands. But so that's what I'm going to use. And so, yeah, that's been added to the list for today. And yeah, let's see how that goes. Oh, what else did I learn yesterday? Well, at the end of the when I did my kung fu kick, right, it hurt quite a lot. One thing I definitely learned is the reason that you know, people like Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris and all the famous kung fu people, the reason they make these crazy noises when they're doing a kung fu kick, it's not to impress people. It's because it hurts like hell. It's insanely sore. So and you know, good sore, right? It's an ache. I know that it's progress. So yeah. I What else? Let's see what else. Oh right, yes. I swore quite a lot, and I didn't like it when I watched it back. I don't think it's what I want this channel to be like. You know, because you know anybody might come along and watch one of these videos. I've made them publicly available, and you know I don't like that idea of a young person who's kind of might have quite easily could have come across the keyword kung fu kick, and I don't want them to see me swearing. So I went back, I edited it, I bleeped out the words. I don't know how to cover up the mouth yet, but I'll look into that, and at a future date I'll kind of update the second part of what was uploaded yesterday. Um, yeah, and today I'm going to try my best not to swear. It's very difficult for me not to swear. I'm ex-military. I was in the army for 11 years, and it's a habit that it's very difficult for me to break. It's been part of how I express myself for a number of years. But I'm going to try my best not to, regardless of how much it hurts doing a kung fu kick. So yeah, hopefully less of that today. Um, yeah, I feel like that was a little bit of a mistake. So anyway, uh, moving on. So yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna hit pause. I'm gonna get a drink. I think everything's set up, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do my warm up, and I'm gonna try to progress through everything as quickly as I can. I had kind of hoped today's introduction would be less than 7.5 minutes, but there you go. Cool. Introduction over. Okay, day two warm up. Nice. So joint rotation's done. 22 minutes 53 since I started recording. Okay. It is what it is. That's the warm-up. I'm going to hit pause, just get mentally prepped, and then I'm going to move straight into my mobility. Okay, here we go. Day 2 pike. Okay, that was max 1 rep, day 2 for the pike. Okay, here we go. Pancake. By the way, I'm doing that stupid clap thing because I read somewhere that it makes it easier to find different portions of the video or something later on if I want to make clips. So here's the pancake. Let's try that again. Okay, here we go. Pancake. That's pancake for today. That felt quite nice. I enjoyed that. And it didn't hurt behind my knee quite as bad as it did yesterday. So, yeah, moderation, I guess. But yeah, what's next? Okay, pigeon. Sounds ridiculous. nice. Day 2 pigeon. I've got an itchy nose again today. I think that's the downside with these nose things. But hey ho, I can breathe. Okay, what's next? Front split. So here we go. Front split. Just again, I'm not squeezing down when I do that. I'm doing the opposite. I'm holding my legs up. I think if you try to squeeze down with the ferocity that I kind of use, you'd probably injure yourself. So if anybody ever watches this, please don't try to do that unless you know exactly what you're doing, right? Or you're going to hurt yourself. So, and if you want to know what I'm doing, if you watch the day 1 video, I think I explain most of the exercises that I'm doing in that and what I'm trying to achieve with each, so that I don't have to do this every time. So yeah, like, I don't know, watch the day 1 video. If you think you want to follow along with this for any reason, I can't recommend that you do, because I'm not a physical training instructor. And I'm not trying to teach anyone, but I can't stop you from, I guess, trying to follow along for your own reasons. But if for any reason someone ever does that, you need to watch day 1, because day 1 explains what I'm doing and how I'm doing it, and how important things like the breathing are. The breathing is the key to the whole thing. It prevents you from injuring yourself. And I explain all of that in the day 1 video. So, so yeah, anyway, what's next? So yeah, that was the front split. Hang on, did I do front split on both legs? I can't remember. No, I feel like I didn't yet. Right, well, I'm doing another one on the right leg. I feel like I did the left already. I honestly can't remember. That's what happens when you're 53. Okay. So that's front splits, and next side splits. Oh, and that's side splits for today. That felt good. That was nice. Knees over toes. Hang on. Knees over toes. Right, now remember yesterday I went far too quick, and so I didn't feel like I got much benefit out of it. So I'm going to try to slow it right down and see how far I can get before I collapse onto the mat. Okay, that's knees over toes for today. What else? Okay, so that's kind of it for mobility type exercises for today. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be adding to that. But yeah, I'm going to hit pause. 37 minutes in, we're going to move on to my strength exercises. So that's 38 minutes. We had about a 7 to 8 minute intro. So about 30 minutes in for the workout so far. That's not too bad, I guess. I'm happy with that. So yeah, next bit. Okay, here we go. Day 2 planche. Yesterday, my breathing was terrible on this. And I'm still not quite finding the right body shapes. But yeah, so I'm going to try to do better with my breath today. Okay, that was today's planche. I wish it lasted a bit longer. So if I could have held myself in the position before I collapsed a bit longer, I feel I would have got more benefit from it. But that's, you know, that's today's max 1 rep. What's next? Pistol squat. Okay, so here we go. Pistol squat. These are hard. Okay. Okay, that's today's pistol squat. Form's not great, breathing's not great. I'm gonna have to work on that. What's next? Oh, this is the one that I didn't do yesterday. I'm gonna bring it in today. It's Nordic curl. And yeah, I don't know where to set up the recorder for this. Let me just pause. Okay, Nordic curl. That was Nordic curl. Handstand push-up. Right, handstand push-up. Bollocks. Max 1 rep. I very much want to try that again, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna stick to the discipline. Max 1 rep a day, and yeah, let's see what happens. Okay, what's next? One arm pull-ups. I'm not sure I've entirely figured out the best way to do these yet, but I'm gonna use the rings for today. That's good. Oh, that's nice. Shoulders feel nice. Day 2 1 arm pull-ups done. What's next? front lever. Okay. Quick water break. Okay, I'm just going to pause and get more water. Okay, here we go. Front lever. By the way, I haven't got a wide angle lens. I've got no idea how to try and capture more of kind of what you're seeing here, but there's not much to see. Okay, front lever. That's front lever for today. Okay, okay, muscle up. This is going to look equally impressive. I barely managed to pull up yesterday. Okay, this is not going to look like a muscle up, but you know, I've got to start somewhere, right? That's today's muscle up, day 2. What's next? Okay, so I did have wide arm pull-ups in next. I'm going to bin wide arm pull-ups for now. I need to get stronger. I was starting to over fatigue. I'm not ready. I can't pull myself up on wide arm pull-up yet. So I'll monitor that and just keep working on this, right? So I think one pull like that a day is going to be enough, and we'll see how it progresses. So yeah, knees to bar. Yeah, right. Okay. That's it. That's today's effort. Toes to bar next. All feeling good though. I have to admit, I feel like I want to do more. That's the hardest part of what I'm doing. Like I feel like I could go back and do another rep. I mean, muscles have got it in them, but I'm going to stick to the routine, right? So maximum 1 rep a day. It's not a maximum rep, it's an 80% rep, controlled by my breathing. And I'm going to do it 5 days a week. I'm not doing it on Saturday or Sunday, I've decided. I will do my warm-up, my rotations and my neck on Saturday and Sunday, because it feels great and it's a good way to start my day. But I'm not going to do any of it. I'm not going to do the mobility. I'm not going to do the strength training. That's going to be hard. I'll probably do a bit of yoga or a bit of stretching or something like that on the Saturday, just like as a, an active rest day. I need to do something. So I'll probably do like, I don't know. Yeah, something very light, very gentle. Anyway, we'll see. So yeah, that was that. Toes to bar. Okay, so here we go. Toes to bar. Wow. Wow. Just wow. That was toast the bar. Where are we? Where are we? Excellent. My favorite time of the day, Kung Fu kick time. Time to make a complete plonker of myself, but there you go. Okay, I'm just going to hit pause while I prep for that. Okay, so here's how this is going to work. I've put a bit of tape on the side of my my wall bars there. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to see how high I can raise my leg into a position without supporting it on the wall bar. So it has to be freestanding with my foot at, you know, the correct angle at 90 degrees and my knee straight. Okay, and I'm going to see how high I can get my foot. And you can see the red bit of tape on there. That was yesterday's effort. And I need to figure out where I think I can hold it for 5 seconds, right? Because when I do my actual Kung Fu kick, I want to try to hold it for at least 5 seconds. A Kung Fu kick is going to look pretty, you know, it needs to be held for 5 seconds. Go back and watch the movies, you know, go watch the classics. You'll see. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do now, and try and see if I can make any progress today, or you know, let's find out. Okay, so. Oh, and I have to be able to maintain a square breath while I'm doing it, right? So that kind of makes it even more tricky. Oh, that was tricky. Okay, maybe at a push, I managed to get up to the red line. I managed to see the red line. I feel like my leg was straight. I'm not sure I could have held it for 5 seconds, mind you. Let's try again. I just managed to see the red line. Okay. One last try on that. Oh, that's ambitious. That is ambitious. I think, yeah, I think I'm going to have to drop it down today. I guess there was a bit of fatigue in the muscles, but I am going to go for 83, which is 2 centimeters lower than yesterday. But I didn't exactly succeed yesterday either. So I'm going to set the camera so that the top of the camera is 2 centimeters below that. Once that's done, it's time for the Kung Fu kick. Okay, camera set. So here we go. So I need to get in the right headspace. So I've got to imagine there's like 5 guys coming at me. I don't know how I've got myself into this situation, but there's 5 huge guys about to come and beat down on me. And I now have but one choice, and that is to do a Kung Fu kick of such ferocity that either A, the 5 of them tremble in fear and beg me not to continue, or option B, they pee themselves laughing at my pathetic Kung Fu kick attempt, and it defuses the situation. So it's all good. Here we go. Okay, so I was watching some Kung Fu kicks yesterday, and I think I've got to try and get my knee as high as I can, and then straighten my leg. That's going to be the hard bit, and then hold it for 5 seconds with a square breath. No swearing. Feels good. Day 2 Kung Fu kick, done. Okay, so that's day 2 completed. I'm pretty happy with that. 57 minutes on the clock. That's not bad. 57 minutes of recording time. It's taken me a lot longer than that in the background, but I'm kind of down with that. So 57 minutes, an hour workout. Yeah, I can work with that. So, and also no swearing today, so that's pretty cool. Another dreadful Kung Fu kick, but got to start somewhere, right? This is only day 2. Let's see where we are. Let's see where I am in day 50, right? So if I bring this in, so I've got my measuring tape, up the side of this thing, right? But, so I'm currently here at the red tape. And I want to set little goals all along the way. So my current goal, I guess, is just to be able to actually hold my foot for 5 seconds at that bit of red tape, which I think it's maybe a little bit ambitious, but we'll see where we are on the beginning of week 2. So next Monday. But then I guess I'm going to be trying to because I'm going for my foot being above the line, so I can see underneath it. So next, after that, I guess it's going to be being able to touch the flat of my foot on that bar, then on the top of that bar, maybe then being able to touch that nut, then maybe that nut, and at some point, get my, I'd like to be able to touch the hoop, and put my foot through it, and just keep working up step by step until. Actually, what I'd really like to do, I don't even know if it's possible because of the size of my legs, but I'd like to eventually be able to touch that pad with my foot. That's quite high. That's way above my head height, like way above. In fact, we're still near the hour. Let me get a tape measure. Okay, so let's see what it would be. I'm measuring from the mat. It's 2 meters. It's 2,000 millimeters exactly. 2 meters. So yeah. I like I say, I don't even know if it's possible. My legs aren't even that long, but we shall see. If I go from my hip, so 90. 180 from hip to hip, and then the width of my hips, so 180. Yeah, okay, I think at an absolute stretch I should be able to, if I can do a vertical Kung Fu kick, this is going to take 10 years, who knows, right? But if I can do a vertical Kung Fu kick, 2 meters, I can hit that. So that's my goal, but there's a lot of steps along the way that I'm going to be working towards. Anyway, that's an hour on the video. It's been good. I think I'm happy with that today, and looking forward to tomorrow. Workout wise, I am going to try to do some jiu-jitsu training this afternoon, and by jiu-jitsu training, I don't know anything about jiu-jitsu, but I am trying to learn the basics, right, from some videos content on the internet, and I'm enjoying it. So, and it is physical. There's drills that I need to do to learn to move my body in certain ways, and so it is a bit of a workout, but it doesn't really impact any of what I've just done. So there it is, day 2 done. Look forward to day 3.